Welcome back to GOO ROO Beauty. I am Jodi and I have an enormous makeup collection. I get asked all the time for an update of my makeup collection and I would love to do that for you, but first I need to put away all of my makeup. My collection's gotten way out of hand and it is well overdue for a cleanup. So I saw Tati from Glamour Life Guru do a makeup graveyard series. I thought that was a fantastic idea just to go through products that I do own and what I think of them. I'll swatch them for you. I'll share with you whether I like them, whether I'll get rid of them, and I will hope to also do, with appropriate products, do a bit of a blog sale, and I'll figure that all out once I'm through with my makeup graveyard series. There will be quite a lot of products though that I will be looking at getting rid of and also selling, so stay tuned for that. Today we are looking at my eyeshadow singles. If you want to see what has reached its time to go and what is definitely staying in the collection, keep on watching. Welcome back to another episode. Today we are looking at another eyeshadow drawer. I have previously made a single eyeshadow video using more premium brands like NARS, Burberry, Urban Decay, MAC, also included my NARS duos in that one. But today we're looking at eyeshadow singles from more drugstore type brands. Please excuse my nails, they are long overdue for attention. I will start with these. These were sent to me from Australis. These are powder liners. They've got little tiny sponge tips there, and the idea is that you would, blend out your liner. You could also apply this all over your lid. They're fairly matte with tiny, tiny sparkles in them. I will actually be getting rid of these ones. This one is from Max Factor, the Max Effect Dip In Eyeshadow Ibiza Sunrise. This is a really pretty gold with a sponge tip applicator. I will be finding a new home for that one. This is a mineral eyeshadow from Savvy by DB, a really pretty champagne-y shade. I'm gonna put that in the maybe pile. Another one from Savvy, this one is in the shade Iced Coffee. I bought that because it was a really pretty taupe shade. Again, the maybe pile. Another one in the shade Bronze from Savvy. Just a slightly more brown, shimmery eyeshadow. I'll put all of those in the maybe pile. This is one from Savvy in the shade Opal, a shimmery type frosty white. Not much color payoff when I rub my finger on it. That one's definitely in the find a new home pile. These ones were sent to me from a dear friend, the Gemma Kid range. We've got the Eye Design eye color in Vintage and in Luxe. Now these are really pretty shades, but the Gemma Kid cosmetic line don't exist anymore, and whilst they are really pretty, I will actually find a new home for those Gemma Kid eyeshadows. These are from Anoxa. They're called the Line and Define eye colors, and they're those little spring-loaded eyeshadow applicators where the shadow is actually loaded into the lid. They are really nifty for touch-ups, particularly as I notice my eyeshadow disappearing on my lower lash line. We've got a brown, a blacky one, a light lavender, and a champagne-y, taupey type shade. I won't be using the lavender type shade. I'll find a new home for that one, but I do like the black, the brown, and the light khaki type shade. I will keep those. You know what, the Savvies I'm going to put in a find a new home pile. I have some lovely ones from Prestige. This is the Skin Loving Minerals line. We've got a really lovely taupey shade there. That one is called Amber, really gorgeous shade. I love that. I also have one that's slightly more warm toned, still again very shimmery. This is in the shade Copper, very pretty. I'll be keeping those ones. This one is Citrine. It's a slightly sort of cool toned, shimmery, champagne-y shade. I will keep those. Got a little shimmery white shade from Sephora. I will keep that. This is a single from Ulta. Have had this one for a few years. It's a lovely warm shimmery brown in the shade Penny. I will probably keep hold of that one. And then I have these ones from Shishi matte singles. We've got a black, we've got a brown, To the Moon and Back. That's a more sort of camel color. We've got Enough is Enough, a darker brown, and this lighter brown here, I'm Every Woman. These didn't perform as well as I hoped and thought they would after swatching on my hand in store. I won't be keeping these ones from Shishi. That Rimmel I think I will keep, that Backstage. That's a really pretty shade. And I'll just slide this tray forward. I love these trays from IKEA in the Alex 8-drawer system. Even in these shallow drawers, it allows you to have 2 layers of product underneath. You can see if I put that shadow from Rimmel down here, you can see the drawer just slides right over it. So I love that you've got, yeah, space economy with these little grey inserts from IKEA. Sparkle Cedar from NYX, a really pretty sparkly shade. I probably won't be keeping that. I've got this trio from Max Factor. This is called Cocoa Crazy. I used this a few times and really enjoyed it actually. I might just keep that one. What have I got from CoverGirl? Some kind of white shade, brownie points. I've got this goldy shade called Golden Sunrise and a purpley shade called Plum Fairy, I think. I won't be keeping any of those ones from CoverGirl. Next up, I have a couple of shadows from Arbonne. I did just do a one brand tutorial with them. The sand shade of eyeshadow was brilliant in the brows. This one is a little bit warmer. This one is called Java. I will be keeping these eyeshadows. This is one I've had for a long time. It's from the brand Red Earth and it's a matte eyeshadow. They don't even have a name for it. RD017. A really pretty purpley shade. Again, I just don't reach for that often enough. I will find a new home for that. Singles from Maybelline. I'll be getting rid of those. I've got some lovely ones from Bourjois. These pots are quite pretty. I will keep my hands on those. I've got the 08. I can't see a name. I've got the 90. That's a shimmery type white shade. This one is one of my favorites from Bourjois of all time. This is the number 74. It's a beautiful, beautiful purpley brown. You can build it up to something really beautiful. So I will keep that one. This is an eyeshadow single from God knows where. It must have come in like a beauty box or something. Yeah, that's quite nice. That's like a, I don't know, what's that like? A patina type shade? I'm not sure. It's a nice everyday type shade. I might put that into a palette. I've also got a really old one from Bourjois. This is in the shade 47 Brun Aztec, and that is a warm toned brown. It's just a little bit more chocolatey than the slightly more purple. This Brun Aztec, I don't think they make it anymore, but it's a beautiful warm chocolatey brown. I will definitely keep that. I've had that one for years, but I am going to keep a hold of that. One shade from Pixi. This one was also sent to me by a friend in the shade Warm Autumn. Really pretty warm shade. I will keep that one. A few singles from Wet n Wild. Penny. I've got Nutty. And I've also got Sugar. They are nice shades. I will keep my hands on those. Gosh, an old one from Mary Kay. This one is in the shade Hazelnut. A duo from Sonia Kashik. This one was sent to me by a dear friend. An eyeshadow duo with a sparkly shade and a more sort of grey toned medium shade. I haven't used that one yet, so I'll have to put that to the side. A few more from Shishi here. I've got a shimmery sort of plum called Rock With You. Crazy in Love sort of shimmery brown, and a goldy shade called Beautiful Day. These actually swatch beautifully, beautifully in store, and I'm not so sure that I love the way that they perform on the eye, to be honest. I will actually be moving the Shishi on. As is the case with these L'Oreal singles, I've also got one from Rimmel that I've never used. This is a Colour Rush eyeshadow, black around the outside with a little silver sort of crown. A black eyeshadow from L'Oreal called Raven, and a very light green eyeshadow that I never reach for in the shade Mint. There's a lot of getting rid ofs in this video. This is a really good one. I've also got a eyeshadow from Hard Candy. This is called Lunar Eclipse. I think this actually looks really quite nice on the eye. Maybe you can see the glitters here coming up. I'm getting some glitter on my hand there with sort of a khaki base. Probably not something I would wear a lot, but I might just put that one aside. I might be able to get some use out of that one. Another one from Hard Candy. This is called Intergalactic. My friend Amy sent these ones to me. You can definitely just feel the glitter as you rub on that eyeshadow. And that one has a more sort of dark base with a goldy brown coppery colored glitter. I'll probably find a new home for that one. I quite enjoyed playing with this one. You can see it's got like more of a dark purple base with really bright purple glitter. I think if you apply this one wet, you would probably get something really quite lovely. You can see that glitter would just go nicely over like a glitter glue. I'd probably end up with just glitter on my under eye area. So I will get a new home for those. This is one I quite enjoyed for quite a while. It's an eyeshadow duo called Cinnamon Stick from Prestige. Some really nice shimmery sort of kitten-like shade there, and then a nice sort of warm plummy type brown. I will keep that. Also an eyeshadow single from Ulta. This probably hasn't been used before, and it's in the shade Cognac. Warm goldy shade there. I'll probably keep my hands on that. I might use that one a little bit more. I've got another eyeshadow single from Ulta. This one is in the shade Cashmere, and you can see that's just got more like gold to it. Really, really, really pretty I will keep my hands on that. Something from Sephora. This is like a mushroomy taupey type shade. It's got a bit of shimmer to it, and I will keep that. That's actually quite a pretty shade too. A duo from Maybelline Eye Studio. This is in the shade Bronze Blowout. I will find a new home for that. Something from Victoria's Secret. This is a luster eyeshadow in the shade Beloved. A sort of olivey shade of eyeshadow. Wow, so creamy, gorgeous. I will actually keep that shade. I reckon I could play with that one a little bit more. Another little shimmery white from Sephora. I'll probably keep my hands on that. That's just handy for inner corner highlighting. A matte black eyeshadow from Rimmel. I will probably not keep that. Some lovely ones from Hard Candy. This is a light pink and burgundy duo, if you can see there on my hand. They are just so pretty. I cannot get rid of that duo. That is called Secret Rendezvous. I will definitely keep that. This one is very, very similar. It's in the shades Rush Hour. Not quite as sort of plummy, I guess you would say. A beautiful pink, and then Rush Hour is just more of a brown shade. You can see on my hand how that swatches. I will keep that. Another Sephora eyeshadow single. This is like a shimmery grey shade called Starry Night. Beautiful, beautiful for a smoky eye. I might keep my hands on that. Some eyeshadow duos from HIP. Don't even know if they still market the HIP, high intensity pigment line, in the United States. Metallic eyeshadow duo here in the shade Charged. They had some really gorgeous duos out. This was a great brand. They had some great shades and great products. Oh my goodness, they are gorgeous. I will definitely keep my hands on those. Another duo from the HIP High Intensity Pigment range, this time in the shade Shocked. This time we have a light gold and a, well, it comes off looking a little bit more minty green, and a light shimmery gold. I'll probably not keep that duo. I just won't use that or reach for that. This one is called Electrified, and it's a beautiful duo of shades. Lovely, lovely purple. That one actually built up really nicely, but this shade here, this sort of cool tone shimmery light shade, really makes the duo. It's gorgeous. I'll definitely be keeping that. Another duo from the HIP, this time in the shade Sculpted. Some really lovely purpley shade. We have a sort of plummy pinky shade there, and a darker purple on a black base type shade. I will keep those. I reckon I could have a use for those. This is a duo from Models Prefer, and they describe this as a mineral eyeshadow. Models Prefer, of course, for you Aussies, available at Priceline. And these are quite similar, I would say, to the HIP eyeshadows. They actually apply quite nicely, but I probably won't keep that duo. Another duo from Models Prefer. I was very, very attracted to this one because of the bright, bright purple. This is in the shade Rocker Chic, a light kind of highlighty shade, and then a purple shade that you could build up beautifully on a base. You know what? I might actually keep it for that beautiful purple shade. So I will keep that one. An eyeshadow duo from Savvy. I really enjoyed this one for quite some time. This is called Summer Frolic, but I reckon it has met its day. I will be moving that one on. And then I have a bunch of singles here from Ulta. A sort of shimmery lavender shadow in the shade Bayou. Not typically a shade I would use every day. Not a great payoff, actually. I will be moving that one on. A light blue shade from Ulta. This one is in the shade Moonbeam. Never used it before. I will actually move that one on. A grey shade from Ulta. This is like a smoky, ooh, nice payoff here on my hand. Smoky grey. I might actually keep that. Some really nice shadows from Ulta. They really are a lovely brand of eyeshadow. Also one in Peacock. It's more of like a lighter grey than the one that I just swatched. I will keep that. And this one is called Sterling. It is more of a silver. It swatches beautifully, nice and creamy. That would be nice for quite a dramatic sort of shimmery grey eye. Another grey from Ulta. I'll keep those. A more sort of mushroomy shade here called Sandstone. I'll keep that. This is a dark brown shade from Prestige called Coffee Bean. I used this one a lot, I think, for lining and that kind of thing. A matte dark brown. I will keep that. A beautiful olive from Ulta. That one is called Safari. Gorgeous. I need to use these shadows more. Another one from Prestige. This one is called Iced Tea. It's time to move that one on. It's just not performing quite as nicely as I would hope. A few more from Ulta. I have, oh, this is a gorgeous shade. This reminds me of MAC's Rubenesque Paint Pot Sunburst. Again from Ulta. It's just that gorgeous sort of gold with a slight pink. I will keep my hands on that and actually vow to use it. Also this gold shade, this one's called Golden Retriever, another one from Prestige, and it looks like that one's performing just beautifully. You can see how creamy and gorgeous that is, a much warmer gold there. I will keep that. A shimmery champagne-y shade from Ulta, haven't used that one yet. It's in the shade Luster. I will keep my hands on that. This is like a matte, yep, camel shade, actually called Camel. This would make a beautiful transition shade. I will keep that. Another one from Prestige. This one is a light sort of plummy shade. This one is called Sandalwood. It's probably a beautiful shade for the lid actually. That sort of smoky, purpley matte shade. I will keep that. I think that one will be quite handy. And then this one from Ulta. This one is called Brass. A nice warm sort of shimmery brown. I'll keep my hands on that. Right, that is the tray done. And then at the very back, I've got a few spares of this matte cream shade called Brulee from Wet n Wild. These are beautiful eyeshadows, these little color icon singles. I will be keeping those. I also have one more spare in Nutty, just a beautiful taupey shade. I will keep my hands on that. Two little NYX ones at the very, very back. I've got one called Iced Mocha. It's a very, very pretty color, but I don't need a spare of it. I will move that one on, and I've also got a spare of one called My Favorite Color. It's got some glitter in it and, you know, a bit of shimmer as well. I won't be keeping that. The glitter is probably not my bag. So that is it. I will just rearrange everything. You know what I started with. I will show you what I'm finishing with, and I will be right back after I do some little magic. I have put my shadows that I am keeping back into the container. You can see we're all empty under there. We've got an empty container at the back. It's looking a lot more bare, and would you believe it, on the count I am keeping 53 and I am actually losing 53. So that's not bad, 50-50. To be honest, this collection probably needs a little bit more of a cull, but we'll leave it at that for now. I hope that you enjoyed watching, and stay tuned for some more videos, and have a beautiful day. Don't forget, you are beautiful. It's one thing to look at, make sure you be it. I will see you again really, really soon. Bye.